So hello everyone, hello, how are you doing today? I hope you're well, I hope you're fantastic because kama mwonavyo, mimi niko fantastic, fantabulous, and I am here it is Monday, and as we all know, Monday is book review Monday. This is Chapter Dasa for those who are new. If you haven't subscribe to this channel, let us grow together. And for those who have subscribed, to the new subscribers, thank you so much for the loyalty that you've shown me. Thank you so much for supporting me. The subscriptions, they keep me going, man. They keep me going. Thank you so much for what you're doing. It's a new year. We've started on a high note, and it's going to be greater and greater. So Mondays, for those who are new, it's always for book reviews. And there's a book that I was doing last year. It's called Lord Change My Attitude Before It Changes Me. But I've not finished reviewing the book, but I've just decided to pop in with another book because it blessed me, and I decided that wacha ni share joto hii kitabu. Let me share before the joto of the book leaves me. So the book it's a book in the Bible. It's the book of Nehemiah. I was reading through the book of Nehemiah. I think it was last week, and oh my goodness, I've read the book of Nehemiah before. Si hadi sijaisoma, nimeisoma, but ile kitu nilisikia the other week as I was reading the book, I was like, oh my goodness, Nehemiah, sir, you're blessing my heart so much. Because I look at Nehemiah was a cupbearer of the king. In the time of Nehemiah's life, Israel had been taken to captivity because of course shingo ngumu na kichwa ngumu, tuwa shingo ngumu. So hao walivunjwa shingo wakapelekwa into captivity because God was like, you know what, you guys, I'm just going to take you back, because sometimes you need some solo time alone to remember what God has done for you. So wana Israeli wakapelekwa wapi? Captivity. So in their captivity, Nehemiah became a cupbearer for the king, King Artaxerxes, ART na ma X mingi kwa mwisho. I can't remember the spelling, and I can't even pronounce the name because you know what, I'm African. I shall not die because of weird by biblical names. So yeah, so that's the king. He was a cupbearer, and one time he sits down and he's sad, mourns over his country, mourns over the fact that the walls of Jerusalem have fallen down, and he wants to bring them up. One thing that strikes me that Nehemiah does, Nehemiah first goes and prays about it and tells God, let me find favor in the sight of the king. Because it's one thing to find favor in the sight of the king, and it's another thing to go before the king, tell him something, imudhi akufukuze. You get it? Yes, you get it. So Nehemiah decided that let me pray first, prayed, asked for favor, went to the king. The king asked him, why is your countenance low? Nehemiah says the walls of Jerusalem, blah, 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 a lot of things. And the king says, you know, I give you permission. He finds favor. The king tells him, I give you permission. Go and do what you can do to make sure the walls are up. I'll give you everything, all the resources you need. I'ma give them to you. So Nehemiah decides to go. So katika safari yake ya kuenda, Sanballat and Tobiah, which is Sanballat and Tobiah, wanasikia there's this guy coming to you to mend the walls, and they're so very against him in every single way that they can. They're against Nehemiah putting those walls up, and it was not Sanballat and Tobiah. In fact, incited other people to be against them. So a lot of people are against the building of the walls of Jerusalem. And what strikes me the most is that Nehemiah, kumbuka alikuwa shaambiwa na king, wewe fanya hivi msee, ukifika huko uone kuna mangori blah blah blah, you anything you want, I'll give it to you. Meaning he had the option of going to the king and tell him that Sanballat and Tobiah are trying to bring me down, and the king would have slaughtered them kuku kaka na ishi. But this is what God does. This is what Nehemiah does. Nehemiah anaenda kwa God, anamwambia angalia watu, they're despising me. God, look at these people, they're despising me. And God anaenda kwa mimi. Nehemiah bado ananishangaza, like, you have the king, where are you going, what are you praying about? But he still went ahead and prayed. Ili nikumbusha that many times people will be against you. Many times people will be against your vision, against your dream, because nothing good comes easy. Like the most layman's way to support this is that ile mtu iko na matunda ndo urushiwa mawe, ile mtu iko na mapera ndo urushiwa mawe. Nobody will just go on throwing stones kwa mti na anything. You get it? So Nehemiah is being fought, but he goes back to God when he had the option of going to the king, and the king would have provided everything that he needs. So anaenda kwa God and I'm sure our and despise, deal with them. And let this iniquity be remembered to them up to generations. Wasiwahi sahaulika, isiwahi sahaulika that they're doing this to us, they're doing this to the people of Jerusalem, the people of Israel. And I was like, God, you know what? I'ma depend on you because vitu zingine kesi mingi stop them. I know you have that, that uncle that is a governor and there's this mumu someone that is trying to disturb you. You have that uncle that is a lawyer and blah blah blah. Sometimes forget the people around, forget the people that have the resources they actually have. It's not like they don't have, they have the resources to help you. But go to the maker of all things, go and tell him, God, this is how it is, and God will work it out for you. Because he's God, he's faithful. Kitu ingine na strike me, the children of Israel, the poor, wanakuja kwa Nehemiah wanamwambia, by the way, these people are exploiting us. Like Israel kulikuwa na ranks, kulikuwa na wale low, middle, high. So hao maskini sana walikuwa oppressed. Like walikuwa na madeni and they keep adding up because unaona captivity, the country was not in a good state. So madeni zilikuwa zinashinda zikiongezeka, but this hawa tutajiri walikuwa wana exploit hawa kabisa, like wewe lazima unilipe deni yangu. So Nehemiah anaenda kwao anawaambia, why are you doing this? How not brothers? Stop what you're doing. So that thing Nehemiah made sure that hizi deni zote za hawa wasi zimesaulika, like zikasaulika, all the debts were forgotten. So he provided a solution to the poor. As a leader, he provides a solution to the poor. That struck me so hard. Like, ndugu yako, this person is your brother. Why are you not helping them? This person is your brother. Why do they have a debt? Mbona usisaidie tu mtu because you're helping? Unajua mtu alimba tenda wema nenda zako. And sometimes we take these things for granted. If you have the means to help. If you have a way to help, the Bible says like that you cannot be helping only the people, you cannot be giving to the people that can give back to you. That is not giving, because even the wicked, those of the world, do the same. Hapa kuna returns, but when it comes to the things of God, it has to be you giving to someone that you're not expecting anything in return. You are not expecting anything. You get it? Yes, you get it. Another thing that strikes me is that after all this, the king decides to make Nehemiah the governor. Alafu, Nehemiah as a governor, he says that the previous governors, there were governors before that came before Nehemiah, and these governors were exploiting the people. Like they were taking so much higher than what was required, because as Israel being under this king that had taken them into captivity, they were obliged. It was a must that they give a certain amount of money to the king they were under. So the governors that were before Nehemiah used to exploit them, in that atalipa ya king na bado baki na yake ya mkono. Chawi. But what strikes me about Nehemiah, this man Nehemiah, imagine Nehemiah hadi alikata, he said he's not gonna eat anything that comes from the king, because there was a portion allotted to him as governor from the king. He did not eat it. And he says that is the sweat of the people. He cannot eat it. Cheza tu wewe, cheza. And I'm like, Nehemiah is such a good example of what a leader should be. He stood in for the poor. Like you can't oppress these people. He did not eat their sweat. He did not take them for granted. He turned to God when things were hard. He turned to God. And there's a way he organized these people in a way that when these enemies came, you're working but you have an arm with you. Even Nehemiah himself had arms. They did not even have time to change their clothes. Like the level of organization and precision and leaning on God to me was so striking. And if you read that book and look at how Nehemiah praises God, how he provokes God into action. Oh my God. I was so drawn by this. I was so drawn. And later in the book, Sanballat, Tobiah, and some other guy tried to kill him, and they cannot. Because he depended on God. Like, when he needed help the most, he leaned on God. Who are you leaning on right now? Ni nani unangoja kupatia hiyo attachment? Ni nani unangoja kupatia hiyo kazi? Is it that one uncle that you know, that one uncle that you know has connections, he knows people? But then for me, my family, I know, hey, my uncles, they have connections. Those people, they're rich, they're way, they have connections, they can someone that if they want to, they can really give you the best of the best that they have because they're well connected, well read, well traveled. But every single time I'm reminded that at the beginning, God. At the end of it, God. God is not committed to what he has not commanded. That is what Apostle Michael would always say. So lean on God. If I am so very, very, very pretty, very sure, if Nehemiah had decided to lean on the king for help, King Ewaramba, that is why he realized that, I have God. So who is Sanballat and Tobiah? And God worked it out for him. So for you, tegemea God manzi, because it's hard. And the world right now is so wicked. It's hard for people. It's hard to find someone that will give you something wholeheartedly without expecting anything in return. So you lean on God, man. Lean on God. Yani tegemea tu Mungu ile design yenye. Even God knows that. Huyu nisipomsaidia hakuna kwenye ataenda, But you know that if God does not come through for me, the coming through will not come through. Like you depend, someone once said that if you depend on someone else to give the job, let's say, common scenario happens mostly. Let's say you decide to, go to that manager that has, that owns that company, or that CEO that owns that company, lie with them, and then they give you the job. It's going to take that to keep it. So every time he will be threatening you that, you have to do this or you do this. So you can't be free. You can't be free. It's just too much stress, too much. But when God gives you something, what he expects of you is good stewardship. And good stewardship is good to you because it boosts you, it markets you. So he expects good stewardship. Just be a good steward. And don't worship this thing more than you worship me. Let this thing be worship unto me. Do not worship it more than you worship me. That is what God expects. And it's so easy, and it's, oh my God. Long story short, or short story long. At the center of it all, at the center of everything, just put God in. Whatever you just have God at the center, and you're not going to regret it at any time. Nehemiah is the proof that God is good, God is faithful, God is consistent. So we're taking God. Regardless of what comes, lean on God, and He will never disappoint you. He will never disappoint you. And then if you're given a position as a leader, look at Nehemiah. Don't oppress people. Isikwe ati unashinda kusema serikali inaiba, serikali inaiba, and I decide to give you that serikali opportunity. Wewe ndio una loot kushinda watu wote kwa serikali. You looting, you stealing everything that can be stealable because you're saying this is the only opportunity. Wacha nikwambie watu wenye kwanza, for example, these people that use public funds to build themselves. Wacha nikwambie anko, utanunua shamba, you will buy that kashamba, and then utakuja upate hiyo shamba ni sewage. Ama ilikuwa shamba ya serikali, ama mwenyewe atakuja title deed, you continue, that house will collapse one day because kitu imekuja haraka itaenda haraka, ikikuja hivi itaenda just like that. So you need to be a person that has not exploited anyone, but you've not lacked. You depend on God fully. Kama God hajakupatia, it means you don't need it. So stop struggling. Wacha kuiba pesa. Depend on God. Depend on God. As a leader, tetea the poor, tetea those who are weak. Don't exploit people. Don't step on people because you have authority. Wewe mwanaume ambaye unashindana ukisema, I am a man. You keep claiming that you're a man, and you demanding that every woman should submit to you. Inapoala. Are you sick? So every woman should submit to you because you're a man. I beg. Don't tell us that you are a man. Act like one first. Then we can know when the respect comes. Please. That is all I have to say. And thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much for the support you're showing me. Thank you you guys are amazing. Thank you so much. God bless you for the things that you're doing. This is Chat with Tasa, and I'm Esther Band. So share this video, like it, comment. Let us grow. The intention is that at the end of it all, we all get to learn something, and we all get realign our relationship with God to the glory of Him. So this is Chat with Tasa. I am Esther Band, and thank you so much for your time. Do have a blessed week ahead. We'll meet again next Monday. I love you guys. Bye.